Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I'll have guests on from WellStar, West Georgia Medical Center, and also I have a guest on that's been here at the LGT studios for about 3 months helping out. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for those interviews coming up in just a moment. Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm sitting down with a guest from WellStar, West Georgia Medical Center, Dr. Marty Schaffler. Marty, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. You're just a bundle of joy this morning, and this is my first opportunity to sit down with you. But Marty, if you don't mind, I know that all your patients know who you are, but this is my first opportunity to speak with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind?
Yes. So I am a gynecologist here in LaGrange, Georgia. And I work with my husband. We're members of WellStar, as you said. We have been here 33 years, Alton.
Oh my!
We came from Emory University. That's where we trained. I met my husband there. We came and joined a practice here. We're now in a partnership practice, and we used to do obstetrics and gynecology. Now we just do gynecology. We focus on that alone. Office gynecology.
Okay.
So we also do primary care for women.
Okay, well, very good. And I understand too, in talking with you, your local lady from West Point, correct?
That's right. I grew up in West Point. I have 3 siblings, and my father worked for West Point Pepperell. And
okay, all right.
So yes, I'm a local person.
Well, very good, very good. And we appreciate, and I know that all your patients appreciate what you do in our community. And we're here today to talk about something that's very, I guess, serious in our community. And I know that you and your husband probably see it on a constant basis. And this month is Cervical Health Awareness Month. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind, for us.
Well, it's interesting to me. I found out there's a month for everything, just about.
That's right.
But this is a good thing to recognize, it turns out, because the cervix is an important organ. It's the organ that holds the baby in when a woman is pregnant. It's the organ that has to dilate to 10 centimeters to let a baby out. It's a very important organ. The main thing that happens with the cervix is that it can develop cancer. Now it can get infections, but the main thing that we in healthcare try to discover and prevent, actually, and treat is cervical cancer. And the fascinating thing about cervical cancer, if I can go ahead, is that it used to be so much more common than it is now.
Okay.
In my brief lifetime, we've gone from having wards of patients at Grady Hospital, where I trained, full of patients with cervical cancer, to now it's less common now than ovarian cancer, which ovarian cancer is another very important female cancer that was thought to be relatively uncommon. Now we've seen cervical cancer fall into that category. However, there's still people getting cervical cancer. But
the treatments of it have been, I guess, advanced so that there's not quite that number.
Right. What's happened is in the 1950s and 60s, the Pap smear was developed. So these women would come in with symptoms of advanced disease. Bleeding, pain, lymph nodes enlarged, and they'd come in and the cancer had spread everywhere. Now, since the development of the Pap smear, which I'll talk about. I was going to
say, I think you have a prop here that you want to, as you talk about that, if you don't mind.
In the 50s and 60s, this was developed. What it is a screening, an excellent screening test for this type of cancer. Cancers are frustrating because they're all different, and only a few have really good screening tests. Cervical cancer is one of those. And so we found out about the screening test before we actually found out what causes cervical cancer. So I'll talk about the screening test. This, it used to be a smear. We would take a smear, like if this is the cervix, I'll point the cervix out here, Alton.
All right.
Here's the uterus, and the cervix means narrow part. The narrow lower part of the uterus is the cervix, this whole part.
Okay.
And the part of the cervix that goes from the vagina up into the uterus, that little section is called the transformation zone, and that's where cancer grows. So if you can take a smear of cells from that spot,
area. Okay.
and if this is the cervix, and it looks a lot like this, you take a smear like this, and you get mucus and cells in this little broom.
Okay.
You take the broom and put it down into this liquid. This is called a liquid prep.
Okay.
So you take your smear, put it in here, and twirl it around, and then you just pull this off, drop it in here, and then this is called a thin prep, and it gets sent off to the pathologist or the cytologist, and they examine it, and it's an excellent screening test. They look at the cells and see if they're beginning to develop cancer or if they're cancer cells already there.
Okay, my goodness, you know, very interesting, and we thank God for the advancement of medicine. And you know, we were talking to Dr. Marty before we came on. This is not just something that's common to women. You were telling me that if anybody's had intercourse, sex over a course of time, then they're a candidate for cervical.
That's right. Alton, you were asking me what kind of people get cervical cancer, and I said absolutely anybody is at risk for cervical cancer. Anybody who's ever been sexually active, which includes almost all of us.
Right.
So we're all at risk. I want to move on to now. This is the screening test. We now know what causes cervical cancer. It is a sexually transmitted infection caused by human papilloma virus, HPV. And that was discovered in the 1980s, about the time I was getting out of training. And what's amazing about that is that we know that it's a virus, so it can't be treated with an antibiotic.
Right.
But now there has been a vaccine developed.
Okay.
And that's happened in the last, say, 10 or more years. So we actually, now that we know what causes it, they've developed a way to prevent it.
Very good.
Now you can also prevent it by using condoms when having sex, of course.
Very good. And I was going to ask them, for men, are there any symptoms, or how? I know that the screening here for females, what are some of the symptoms in a male?
Actually, and that's the interesting thing, every one of us, or let's say 70% or more of us, have HPV in our body at some point in time. Okay. So this virus does not always cause cancer. Okay. So we don't all need to be screened for HPV. Okay. We need to be screened for cervical cancer. And so what we're screened for, if we found out that there are about 4 main types of HPV that cause cancer, and if those types of HPV stay in our body for greater than a year, that's called a persistent infection, and that's more likely to cause a cancer. So we screened for the changes in the cells on the cervix, and then when we find them, we screen for that high-risk HPV, those 4 kinds. And if we find those, we are very much on high alert that we want to follow that patient, be sure we get rid of those changes, and maybe she may end up needing a hysterectomy to prevent it. Now, as far as men, you said, do they need to be screened? Yes. No, they don't. Okay. But they need to wear condoms when they have sex. Okay. And they need to get this HPV vaccine, young men between the ages of 9 and 26. Okay. And young women, young girls between the ages of 9 and 26 need to get the vaccine. It's an HPV vaccine. And the sooner they get it, the better, because they need to get it before they start having sex. It's a 3-part vaccine. It can be done in 2 doses, but we're sticking with the 3 because if you get it after age 15, you need the 3 doses. Okay, all right.
And let's say a local physician to go and have this done?
Yes, the health department, the pediatricians are giving them.
Okay.
And anybody that gives vaccines should try to get that.
Okay. Well, very
good. The symptoms for the man I keep ignoring. There are no symptoms for men. Now, this virus causes other types of cancer. Mm-hmm. It causes other types of disease. It causes warts, which are benign, genital warts. It can cause vocal cord papillomas. So it causes other benign conditions, but the main thing we care about is cancer. Mm-hmm. It can cause throat cancer, anal cancer, vaginal cancer, and vulvar cancer.
So they could cause other types of cancer?
Other types of cancer, which there are no screening tests for those.
Okay.
So the best way is going to be prevention.
Prevention, absolutely.
Yes.
That prevention, as you said, being abstinence, first of all, if you're too young, right, first of all, and then if you are sexually active, to be protected.
Exactly. And we've also found that the earlier in a person's life that they begin having sex, the more damage that can be done with this virus.
Okay.
So, and that's because the cervical tissues are not completely mature. The older a woman is, when she meets this high-risk HPV, the less likely it is to cause damage and cancer.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, this is quite interesting, and I know this is something that's just very, I guess, for you, you see it on an everyday basis,
every day. And the thing of it is, we can tend to get complacent about cervical cancer. Mm-hmm. Problem is, it's still out there. It's still the second leading cause of death in women in the world.
Oh my.
And that's because in developing nations, they don't have good screening systems.
So what can...
Or vaccines.
Females watching this today, what can they do to protect themselves, other than the things that you talked about, protection? What other methods can they use to protect themselves?
Well, the main thing is check in with your gynecologist or your primary care doctor who does female exams.
Okay.
Get female exams. Some people get the female exam mixed up with the pap smear. The pap smear is not the whole female exam.
Okay.
Female health needs to be initiated, as far as just women's health, when a girl is young, before she starts becoming sexually active.
Okay.
And she needs to learn about contraception, about protecting herself, needs to get the HPV vaccine, and needs to, like I said, wear condoms, and just needs to get these pap smears.
Okay.
And it's recommended now that pap smears begin at age 21. And the reason for that is because so many people have HPV.
Okay.
It's going to most of the time be cleared out of a young girl's system. So if you start pap smears before age 21, you're going to find changes, but you don't want to the doctors don't need to be acting on those changes. Those changes, if they're mild, early changes associated with a virus, they are most likely going to clear.
Okay.
So at 21, a girl needs to be checking in with a gynecologist or a primary care specialist who can do that.
Very good. All very good information, Dr. Martin. We thank you so very much. And I would love to have you come back again, because I know that this is Cervix Health Awareness Month, to come back and talk a little bit more about this. But it has been a pleasure to sit down with you. And by all means, I know that your patients know where you're located, but give me your contact information if somebody was watching have questions about anything you discussed here today.
Okay, my husband and I, Dr. Eugene Schaffler, and I work in the medical park just below the hospital. We're at 1555 Doctors Drive.
Okay.
880-7276 is our, I hope that's the right number, is our
well, they can look you up.
Phone number, they can look us up.
That's right,
yes.
they can look you up.
I don't call us very often.
Okay, that's all right.
But yes, please take advantage of gynecologic health care in in our town,
Okay.
and my husband and I are also here.
All
We'd
right.
love to take care of anyone.
Well, thank you so much for being here on the show today and sharing this information. And by all means, I know that our general public and your patients will continue to come out and support this health awareness that's going on, and support you and your practice as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alton.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.
A fierce, competitive spirit inhabits the DNA of students here at LaGrange College. "16 NCAA Division III teams, inspiring coaches, and some of the best facilities in the Southeast. Athletic, spiritual, and academic experiences. Discover more at lagrange.edu/transform.
Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have the pleasure of sitting down with a young lady that has been here with LGTV since October 2016. She's been interning here with Philip and Keith and has done an outstanding job. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Aubrey Fletcher. Aubrey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, you've been around here, you've been helping out these guys, and I'm going to tell you, you do an outstanding job. And I mean, good help is just so hard to find. Those two out there, I don't know what to say if I didn't have you here. But seriously though, Aubrey, tell us a little bit about yourself if you don't mind.
I'm 18 and I'm originally from California, Temecula, California, and it's like an hour and a half from LA without traffic, but with traffic it's like 3 hours.
Okay.
And we moved down here 2015. Me and my mom, and now we're living here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's a big jump. You left California. I can understand about the 3-hour commute,
Yeah.
traffic, but you landed here in LaGrange. What was the attraction here in LaGrange, you think?
We liked the small town feel of it. Like, we didn't visit or anything, but we saw pictures and we saw the fountain. It looked just really pretty. And I went to Lafayette Christian School, and it was just really nice to like start with like a Christian environment.
Okay.
And yeah, we just really liked the feel of the South.
Okay, well, very good. You know, the chamber came out with a new promotional, and the part of it says, you know, look at LaGrange, you might just be surprised.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you guys looked and were surprised,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Absolutely. Well, Aubrey, you're here now, and unfortunately, you're interning, and I think this is your last week that you will be here with Philip and Keith and myself, and I do appreciate the things that you've done to help us here at LGTV. Tell us a little bit about, now you guys, you looked at LaGrange, you're here. How did you get the internship here?
Well, I want to be a political commentator, so my mom was telling me to like go get like an internship to like help out my resume, so I could do that in the future. And this was I saw this TV station, I was like, oh, that would be really cool. And so I went in, and the first day I came in here, they gave me like a little interview, and I thought that was really surprising that they gave me an interview. But then they weren't sure, because they weren't sure if they had the money for it, but I just kept coming like every week. I was just like, hey, I'm here, like, got a job for me?
Okay.
And I just kept calling like a few times every week, and they were just like, okay, enough, we'll give you the job. So yeah.
Okay, very good. So you kept knocking on the door, persistent, and they finally gave in, right?
Yeah.
Well, very good. And I think, you know, to be the young lady that you are, and to have that determination, knowing what your goals are, because we're going to talk a little bit about your schooling in a moment or two, but talk about some of the things that you've learned during your internship here.
I've learned so much being here. Like, I didn't know anything about this, and I just thought it was something I wanted to do, but now that I've been here, it's like definitely something I want to do. I've been like running cameras, and I've edited like shows, like I've edited City Week like so many times. And
Make me look good, I hope, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think you need it though.
Okay, thank you, Aubrey.
And I've written pieces, and we've had little Facebook videos that I've done, like on the Lafayette Fountain. I wrote that, and I wrote one on the hotel, the new downtown hotel. So I've just been doing like everything.
Okay, and you know, I saw the one that you did on the downtown hotel, and it was amazing. I was like, oh my goodness, she's a natural
you.
for this. And of course, I know you said you did a few takes, but
Yeah.
but it came out wonderful. And I noticed you also you said the Lafayette Square did that video as well. So and people can go on our website and see these. So
Yeah.
make sure you tell your friends. I hope you already have, right?
Yeah, everyone's been sharing them. It goes crazy. I think like the hotel one got like 11,000 views.
Very good.
It was crazy.
Very good. And it was a very well put together a video that you did. And I mean, what's your biggest takeaway from this?
You know, there's so many things. It's just been a really good experience to work with everybody like you and Philip and Keith, and I don't even know. It's just been really good.
Okay, well, very good. And we're very happy to be able to soar into the young life of an individual that has dreams and aspirations. Because talk about how will you use what you have learned here in your future endeavors? How do you think you'll use these tools?
Oh, okay. Well, the editing thing I think is going to be really important, because if you want to be a journalist, you have to edit your own pieces. And so now I know how to do that. Like before, I didn't know. Like I don't know what to do with a computer. Like I'm really not good with computers, so at least I know like a little bit. So I have like a little bit of a step ahead in front of other people.
Okay, well, very good. And talking about your future endeavors, I understand that you moved here, and your plans would be you'll be starting school because you're like a couple of weeks here, within a week or so, I think, right?
Yeah, it starts on the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about where you're going to be going.
I'm going to go to West Georgia Tech for 2 years and then transfer to LaGrange College.
Okay.
It's just really a lot cheaper that way.
Okay.
So.
All right. What drew you to West Georgia College? Because I happen to go up there quite frequently myself. What drew you to West Georgia College?
My friend Courtney goes there, and she just says all good things about it, and I think it'd just be a lot cheaper than going to like a regular college, especially for your just basics classes. So I just think it'd be a lot easier going there.
Okay. And then, of course, you're going to be back here in LaGrange, transferring back.
Yeah.
Can't leave LaGrange, so you're going to be starting at LaGrange College. What do you think your experience is going to be like there?
I hope it's going to be good. I mean, I have some friends that go there, and they like it.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Just
a little
excited,
nervous.
right?
Yeah, nervous and excited at the same time.
Well, you know, and that's a good thing to be nervous and excited all in the same time. Working towards your future, and you're with all this training and with all this schooling, your overall and your final goal is to become one more time, tell us.
A political commentator.
Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind, just a little bit more.
I don't know if you know her, but I hope to be the next Tommy Lahren.
Okay.
She has like her own little show, and she talks about like everything that's going on with like political things, like the new presidency with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And I'm just really interested in politics, but I don't want to be a politician.
Okay.
So I just think that'd be really nice just to be a political commentator.
Okay, well, very good. Well, I must say you do have the presence for it, and I think you have the patience for it. I think it'll be a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And like you stated, you had to write your own, I guess, scripts and things of that nature at times. Well, definitely, I know that whatever you choose to do, and you seem like you already got it mapped out. How does your mom feel about this?
She loves it. She wanted me to be a journalist. Like, I didn't want to. I was going to be like a vet or something for animals, and she kept pushing it. So that's like kind of the reason I am wanting to be this, is because of my mom.
Okay, well, very good. Now, and I think you're the only child too, right?
No, I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 older brothers.
Okay, all right, and they're here?
No, they live in California.
So they're still there in California. Yeah. All right, and I know that sometimes you go back to visit there in California. Going back to visit California, and then coming back to Georgia, do you feel the urge to go back to California?
No. It's like I go back to California and like my little town, and I see it, and it's so brown. Like everything is desert. It's like, did I used to think this was pretty or something? And like it's nice when you're at the beach, but if you're gonna live at the beach, you gotta be a millionaire. So California is nice if you're a millionaire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get back here and you get to see the greenery.
Yeah. So like even if you just live in a cheap house, it's still like more pretty than one of the like more expensive houses in California, because it's in the frickin' desert.
Okay. Well, you know, and I've been to California a number of times, and like you say, the cost of living is a little bit more expensive than being
like the
here.
gas when I left was like $5.
Oh my, $5 a gallon then.
Yep.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, definitely we know that things are a lot higher there.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate to have you here, and I know that Philip and Keith have definitely appreciated all the work that you've done here to help us throughout these last couple of months. And again, I just want to wish you the very best in all your endeavors, Aubrey, because you definitely have made an impact here. There's a lot of the other interns that we've had, so I just want to say wish you the very best in all of your endeavors, okay?
Thank you.
And Aubrey, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.
At LaGrange College, your journey toward achievement may take you in many different directions. The arts, law, ministry, medicine. Experience LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions, and leave transformed. Discover more at lagrange.edu/transform.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from WellStar, West Georgia Medical Center, Dr. Marty Schaffler, as she talked about Cervical Health Awareness Month. And make sure that you ladies and gentlemen also get your screenings done to make sure that you're not at risk. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I had on the intern here at LGTV, Aubrey Fletcher, as she talked about the things that she've learned and how she will utilize those things in her future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed these interviews, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.